Hello again everybody, this is Amergan and you're very welcome back to our second ever live stream. So anybody that's looking can see there that I'm using BlueStacks. I've managed to transfer everything to the PC, so hopefully we won't have the issues that I had the last time with the phone. So this is very much a test as well now again guys, to see how it works on the PC with BlueStacks. So there's been a few comments made about the video I posted up last night around the refining rates, so hopefully I'll be able to do a little bit of that soon. There should be some ready to go and we can take another look. Some people seem to have commented that it was even a very lucky batch for somebody who is able to open so many at the one time. So we'll see if I'm as lucky again this time around. So straight away there I have a miner that's been destroyed. The mining event is on, that's why they're out there. There are those who would advise not to be out mining while there's a war going on, but it's a bit of a challenge to try to do this event when there's people out to get you. So we'll see. See, this guy's been having a good time hunting ships. We'll go to that location. So that was the gas miner, so that was this ship here. So I'm going to send that back out. I'm going to call in my crystal and I'm going to send that back out to get the rest of my ore if possible for my dailies. So we'll take a wee look just what I have left to get for that. So I'm at just over 8,000, so I need another 7,000-ish of ore. So I have Malinari here again with me doing some moderating on the chat, so you can say hi if you'd like to him and he will be able to deal with some of the chat as I play away here. Now it's been tough going guys with a lot of these hits. All of them are costing titanium. So we'll put stun on the bridge of this ship. Whenever we get it repaired in a moment. So that Loki guy is there ready to jump on a mine. It looks like they were doing quite well in this alliance event. We've dropped to 4th. And Loki are number 1. So it's beneficial to some of the alliances on our server that are not at war at the moment to complete these events. Personally I would have liked a temporary ceasefire at least to allow us to compete in this way to get the rewards. That's the top rewards there. Wouldn't be complaining about that. So we're in 4th place at the moment. So 4th to 10th place, I'll get that. Still alright, like you're not going to grumble, but so if you feel that you've got an alliance that's capable of more, then you'd certainly be eyeballing these kind of things as preferable. And the solo event, 17th place. So I've been everything between 15th and 20th over the last number of hours. Very, very difficult to keep a ship out. 1.2 million. So there's a number of players around the 1.2 million mark there. So any one of them could go in or out of the top 20. And even though there's rewards from 21st, you can see that bug there, it's not showing the chest. Anything from 21 to 50 is still going to get you. Still going to get you this, which again you wouldn't be grumbling about it, but I'd certainly be aiming for that as my reward as a minimum. And we'll see if we can do that. Provided that is, of course, that there's nobody out there stream sniping and looking at where my ships are currently and using that to find my locations and hit me. Might not be the wisest thing to be live streaming when there are people looking for your ships. Okay, so we'll change this one for ore. We'll use this ship to go and hunt the ore. I'm going to throw any officer in there just temporarily to make that ship a little bit stronger. So I'll confirm that, and we'll send Stun out to try to get this ore and complete that daily. Probably won't get that done, guys, before the stream is over. It'll take a little bit longer, but I do want to do my ops to 27 and see what that gives me, what it opens up, what options. Hopefully there'll be something that we can look at after ops 27 that's different to level 26. We'll do that in a moment when we send this ship out. And also do my dailies killing hostiles and see what I get from that. We'll change this crew around a little bit. Okay, so we'll stick with that. We'll go out here and look at these dailies. So you can see here that these missions are all reading as new. They're not new missions. This is one of the bugs. I've contacted support about this, said there's nothing they can do. Yeah, that's the way that it is. I think some of them have reset. There's a few there, I've started them again, like these. 1 out of 3, but okay, hostile hunter, defeat 5 hostile ships, level 26. We'll go out and do that. And we get these miners sent back out. So I'm in Tajat here. This is one of the systems where if you're unfriendly with the Klingons, it's a neutral space. You're not going to be attacked mining in this system. However, due to that, there's can be quite a bit of competition for these mining nodes, and it's extra dangerous now when there's always the potential of an enemy ship in the system that's going to hit you. So if this mining event were not on, I wouldn't be sending these ships back out here. And like Tajat, there's another system that is a neutral space, Aphroditalis 30. And it offers G3 as well, and there you have the gas. So if you're not friendly with the Federation, this would be the place to go. See, Loki, this is why they are at the top of that mining board. Okay, so this is where we could potentially come to kill our level 26 and above. The lithium. So I'll jump in now and do a couple of refines. See if we got as lucky as we did yesterday. So I'm barely breaking even on the titanium. Seems the rate at which the ships are getting killed and I'm repairing them, I'm just about making it inside my station. Okay, so we'll do a double batch on this in a second. Now, plenty of common there, but there was uncommon in the first batch we opened. We'll do another double batch. And a bit of a mix. Now, I'll do a 75 batch. I'll do 2 single batches and a 75 batch on this. See what that's like. So it certainly didn't seem to increase the chance of a rare dropping. We'll do the same on this. Nothing too exciting there so far. And again, no rares from the most expensive refining option. So not as lucky as it was last night, guys, but still a nice wee haul, certainly compared to what some of you guys are saying that you are getting. My only recommendation to you is to send in a ticket and raise the issue and ask for your server to be brought in line. I certainly wouldn't want it to be a situation where they decide that they don't want us to be able to obtain G3 at these kind of rates. We want G3 at these kind of rates, and that would mean that the wider game would have to be brought in line with what's happening here. If it's the case that we're still the guinea pigs, though, that of course will mean that these early players who have always been the testers are still being used to test this game. And as anybody who's playing it at any length of time will be aware, there's still plenty of bugs and stuff in it, but a very attractive looking game, very nice to look at. Now, one of the things I done a wee video on was this officer. Any die-hard Star Trek fans, completely understandable that they might be wild upset that with all of these legendary and not so legendary figures from the Star Trek universe, that somebody from the real world can just be parachuted in and turned into an officer. So maybe it gives us all some hope that we might feature in Star Trek lore somewhere along the line if we have the readies to make that happen. So I'm not sold yet as to whether this guy is going to be great or not. I'll wait for others to test it and see. I'm not going to waste my officer EXP on him. I'll hold on to that for when there's an officer event, and he might get it then. You see the gas event was on. I have the G3 one done. And these station and limited time station events, they're alright if you're going to be upgrading your station anyway, which I am in the process of that, and because we're live, I'm going to speed that up and finish it before we end today's session. So I should be able to obtain some of the rewards out of these limited time station events, but generally speaking, guys, I don't bother with these because the reward is way too low for what you're going to be spending. 25k titanium and 5 uncommon. I'm already after getting that 5 uncommon, or the equivalent of it, from my refining, so why would I go spending unnecessary resources and unnecessary platinum to speed up my builds just to obtain that? And the rate at which the buildings obtain you points in this is dreadful. I don't even know if I'll get to the second tier of these rewards from hitting Ops 27, but we'll see. We'll put that to the test. So you'll have the limited time one, which we're after looking at there. That's going to run out shortly. And we also have then this station event. So we'll see how that fares shortly. We'll come back to that in a wee while. So we're into Jat here. So just in terms of our mining, why I'm focused on G3 and why it's so predictable that you're going to be able to find these ships in the G3 systems is because G3 offers the greater reward. For one G3 mined is 10 points. Far outweighs anything else there. arguably the G2 should be getting you at least the same as dilithium. Okay, so we'll kill a couple of reds with this Kera. Only need 5. There is a daily that asks me to do 25. Level 27s. Which we could potentially do before the session is over, although for parts and a couple of 15-minute speed ups, I don't know if I want the titanium cost of repair for that reward. This is grand for the daily defeat level 26s, because 5 of them isn't going to cost me an awful lot in terms of titanium, so that's worth it there. Now, what I also factor in, of course, is the points here to open these chests. So once I do this daily and I get 10 points, I'll be able to open this second chest. And of course then I would expect once Ops 27 is completed, I'll obtain Power Creep, Prime Real Estate. Both of them will give me an extra 60 points, which will then lead me nicely toward the third crate. And I generally aim for the third crate every day if at all possible, guys, mainly because of the recruit tokens and the titanium. The lithium of course is nice as well, but the greater need is on the titanium at the moment. And then box number 4 is the luxury box. If I make it, I'm happy. I don't lose any sleep if I don't, and of course if I'm doing particularly well, that's the icing on the cake. Certainly not in a position to complete that every day. Certainly not without spending more latinum than I'm getting, and not without using speed ups. Okay, so we're after a few level 26s. You can see the hull on that isn't even getting dented really from killing these, so we move up to the 27s, start incurring a little bit more damage. So I've got a bit lucky there with the crate drops from these ships. After killing 4, I had 3. 5. 3 out of 5 isn't bad. Alright, if you're going to upgrade an envoy, I suppose. And that interceptor part is reasonably welcome for this Kera. So we'll take her home. Now I was having a little bit of a look elsewhere to see if there was anything going on in terms of basins being raided or anything like that. I haven't seen anything of interest at the moment, but you never know what might happen. The last 2 days, 3 days, certainly in the last 2 days, there's hardly been a moment's peace when it comes to a ship getting hit or people landing at somebody's base trying to steal their resources. So we'll jump in here now. Let's look and see what's left in terms of time for this. 1 day, 14 hours. Here we go. Okay, so that's done quite well in the station event, so it looks like obviously upgrading your ops is the way to go with that. Certainly won't be doing that every week. It would be nice, however. And I'll collect this reward now in a little minute, because there's a nice reward from getting ops to 27 in your mission list. $1.2 million. So I'm not going to collect that until I'm ready to use it. And use it we will. So no more nodes have opened up there at 27 from 26. We do have the academy. Now I'm wondering, is that box that's greyed out on the right hand side, is that a bug, or is it literally only 9.1 million power steel and that bit of uncommon? We will see. Certainly the academy's great when you get to upgrade it as well. Gives the officer stat bonus, which then improves your overall strength on the ships. So it's 27% bonus, 1% per level. So in the station event, I still haven't hit the top rewards. 850 left to go. Okay, so just while I'm doing that, I want to say hello to everybody who's popped in and said something there in the chat. There's a few looking. Kira, Arum. Am I missing anybody? Andre, Murdoch, Wade, and Let Me Smash. There's Darren as well. It's nearly unlocked the Horizon. I highly recommend it. If you've been watching the videos, Darren, the Horizon is the way to go, certainly. And now that the faction miners are out of reach, it's certainly out of reach for free-to-play players. It's the way to go. I'm enjoying it. So, Let Me Smash is asking about the level that I got the choice to join a faction. So it wasn't so much as ever having a choice. It was more to do with completing missions. It's very difficult to choose your faction early on because you're out there and you're going to be grabbing whatever missions are available to you in neutral space. And when you're looking at the rewards for these missions, some of them will offer you improvement with a certain faction. So for example, you're saying you're looking forward to joining the Romulans. So really, when you're out there picking up missions, you want to be careful that you are not picking up, say, Klingon and Federation missions that's going to put you in bad reputation with the Romulans. So as you look at the rewards, you'll be able to see some of the missions are giving you benefits with one faction and not so much with the other. The other thing you need to watch out for is the hostiles that you're killing. When you go out into the different faction space, there are hostiles when you're checking the rewards that will give you a plus or a minus on a various faction. So for example, if you're killing Romulan ships, that will improve your standings to some degree with the Federation and to some degree with the Klingons, but it will damage your reputation with the Romulans. So if you're out killing Federation or Klingon ships, that's going to improve your reputation with the Romulans. And if you're checking the rewards out of missions and focusing mainly on anything that's giving you Romulan rewards, then you will slowly start to improve your reputation with the Romulans, and then you'll reach a certain point when it'll be more of a focus on those faction dailies, which then further will improve your standing with that faction. Some people have managed to keep a nice balance between two factions at the expense of one. I was doing that for a while. I was balanced between the Federation and Romulans, but then there was a couple of bugged missions. They got auto-completed by the support team, and it messed up my whole faction standing, so it's all in now with the Romulans. So we can see you're getting engaged from Europe and the USA, so you're all very welcome, and further afield it seems. Our neighbours up in Denmark, our Viking neighbours. So we're going to just get this game restarted here, guys, and hopefully one of my ships are still mining at least. It looked quiet enough on the server there. And while we're here, I'm just going to do a wee check and see if there's anything going on with my alliance mates. So I guess the way to go here now, guys, I've just been checking something. I guess the way to go is in future, don't rely on the others in the game to be coming out to attack you. I should have probably done a little bit of homework and found a base that I could go after and see how that worked out. I genuinely thought that I'd be getting hit more than this. This is the quietest that it's been for me in a while. But what I'll do, that's a good thing in a sense, because what I can do here now is I can bring in this titanium, hope that nobody's stream sniping me, and upgrade some of my ships, particularly their Horizon. So I think it was Darren was saying he just got his Horizon, so I'm going to do a wee bit of upgrading on that now with this Nice new haul of titanium when I complete this mission. Okay. Should I throw up a shield? I'm not sure. Doesn't look like anybody's around. I don't think I'll take the risk though. A 1 hour will do us. So now everybody knows how many peace shields they've got, which may or may not offer a deterrent to some. Now that they're available though as well in the Alliance store for 50 credits. For an 8 hour. You get a 4 hour for 20. So I'm going to buy a relocation token and a 4 hour peace shield. And this Armada has been here, guys, for nearly 2 years and we're still wondering what it's about. My own personal feeling on it is I expect this to go server v server. I'd say that that's what they're gearing up for. I don't know, I'm not going on any information. It could be Alliance v Alliance and it could be some other game dynamic that comes into the game. Feel free to leave your comments and your thoughts on that and discuss it, guys. My personal feelings on it is that what you're going to be looking at here is to create more whales, to get more spending. They're waiting for the other servers to catch up. And once they have a couple of servers that are able to compete with the founder server and the beta guys, then it'll be server v server. I would fully expect that. Like I say, I have absolutely no basis for that except experience with other games. It certainly works in terms of getting all of the stronger players on a server to work together temporarily when there's a multi-server war going on. Essentially, it'll be. I've seen it work in other games where it's like for 24-hour period. It'll just be server v server. There'll be an overall set of rewards for a server who wins outright, and really that's about the power that you destroy on the other server. So people will invade each other's servers, basically invade each other's universe and hit everything that they can see, steal resources, but it's really about destroying that power. I've seen it work in other games. It certainly gets people spending more money, and it's to the detriment of lower level players and free to play players, because the cannibalizing that goes on with us, anybody that's been watching my high level gameplay can see that there's cannibalizing going on our server already. The cannibalizing that goes on when it becomes server v server is unreal, because it puts you in a situation where everybody on your server has to be shielded up. Otherwise they're offering up free raids to an opponent server to come and build up that power destroyed. So it turns into your own guys on your own server destroying you first if you are not active and participating in the server v server action. So one part of me would be keen to see this game do that and see how they do that, because it won't be exactly like other games that I've experienced that. But part of me doesn't want that, because it basically means free-to-play players or people that don't want to spend an awful lot will be left behind, and it'll be worse for them. That's when a game like this starts to die, when there's no new blood coming in, and I personally hope that this game continues long into the future, because it's a very, very nice game. I've been playing it for a long time, and there have been moments where they get it right. So I'm going to claim this now, 1.5 million. Let's see what we can do with that. So I'll switch to the horizon here. So yeah, guys, leave your thoughts on what you think Armadas might be about. Maybe I've missed something. Maybe Q2 or some of the other guys, JB, maybe they have released a little bit of information on it. I haven't seen it, and I suppose there's good things that we've seen in the game, and there's bad things we've seen in the game in the last couple of months. Certainly, one of the things that I hope won't be too much of a setback, but certainly doesn't fill me with confidence, is losing somebody like Q2 from player support on Discord. He was one of the cooler guys, so best wishes to him and what he does in the future and in his real life. We hit the mining laser and the shields. Now what does that leave us with here in terms of latinum? That's quite expensive. Seeing as we're on a live stream, guys, I'm going to do it so that I can get to tier this ship up. And I'll speed it up as well shortly before we finish to see what the costs are on the ECS Horizon to get it to tier 3. And then tier 3 to tier 4 component costs. And I'll include that in another video in the future anyway. So the dailies have come in thick and fast there. We're on 145, I need another 20. So that will either come from Alliance Unity, if I get another 17 helps, or from this ore, if I manage to get another 7,000. So see how them mining ships are getting on. Nobody's attacked them since, so I think somebody had said that if your ship is attacked, you don't get the reward. I think you do. I think that might have been fixed, but it's kind of a little bit of a habit now that to just take ships on and off the mine to accrue them points, just in case I do get hit. So 17th place. So there's nearly 2 days left in this, so there's lots to go in this yet. There's only about a 20k gap there to the guy behind me. But we're pulling out from the guys that are at 900,000-ish. Let's speed up this horizon. So I got some nice 15-hour speed ups there as well. We'll use 2 of them. 2 1 hours. We'll use 3, get it done. So I'm really liking this horizon, guys. I guess if I had done my homework, I could have went out and found the base. Tried to raid it with this horizon, which should be in around 100k now. A little over. So before I finish up, I'll take this out for a spin and get a little bit of EXP on it to level up. So I'll go about 3 levels or so below my level. If we look at these costs here, 1.2 million titanium and 100k dilithium. Not cheap. $1.7 million for the cargo bay. So sitting on a warp range now of 24 with Scotty. Don't think they have Scotty on the bridge already. With Scotty, that'll be 28. I have Enterprise Scotty, not Cadet Scotty. But warp engines will go up when I do that, and that's only a dilithium cost, so I should be able to get that okay. The warp range will go up to 25. So it's still a little bit behind the faction ships when it comes to that. If anybody has any more information, or if there's been on any threads that have been discussing these new ships, then feel free to leave a comment on that as well. I haven't heard an awful lot about them since it was announced that fixes are coming to the faction ships. And I've done a video on them already, guys, speculating on them, but anybody with any hard facts, you're very welcome to hear them. I use a little bit of ship EXP on this before I send it out. Okay, have it at 100k. So I'll go out and hit a few hostiles before we finish up. Now, like I said, I want something about 3 levels below where I'm at. Anything will really do, as long as they're not too low. There's level 22s. They give titanium. We'll go there. It's nearby. 21s, 22s will do lovely, just to illustrate how you level up these ships once they've tiered up. And as all, any improvement to these horizons work great in terms of if you're going to go out raiding any bases. The envoy is sitting at around 50-51k. There was some bases I was able to go out and raid. Certainly those bases with like 2 defense platforms were doable. Some of the weaker bases with 3 defense platforms were doable, but it was rare. Once I got 75-80k on that horizon, bases that the envoy would just about not be able to handle, the horizon was doing it. And if there's titanium in stock, then you're making more than you're spending, and that would always be very welcome. So I'll wrap up soon enough, guys. I'm going to do one last check and see if there's anything exciting going down on the server. I'm not hearing anything. No, it looks like it's reasonably quiet. So 3 minutes out. So you're an English lad, Darren, right? You're playing on the Asian server. I don't know how that worked. You must have downloaded the game or something when you were at an airport or somewhere. I don't know. But our server's largely Irish lads and Aussies. When we first started this game, I think it was Romanians and Irish when the first version of this game ever came out. We didn't know it was, we were in beta. We thought it was just a game that we were downloading, and it turned out we were all from around the same countries and stuff like that. But I am aware of one Aussie who's a Scot, and he managed to get it. So yeah, we're lucky enough to be playing on a server. I'm lucky enough to be playing on a server where there's a lot of guys from close enough by. Okay, so is it worth maxing the 2-star ships like the Findra? Like, of course, you're talking to somebody now who no longer uses the Findra, so I'm automatically going to say no. However, what I would say to you is it depends on the rate you think you're going to progress. So, for example, if you're looking at the Findra and you're going, nah, that's too weak, that's not where I expect to be in a couple of months' time, whatever, then I would say work on them just to serve your purpose. Don't max them out. And aim for the higher tier ships. It will mean, if you're skipping over the tier 2s, it will mean that you're going to be weaker essentially than some people your level, because you're not maxing out your ships. It is designed, or at least when I was that level and I was on the 2-star ships, it was designed where I wanted to skip them, but I found that it made absolutely no sense, because in the meantime I could be building up resources and building up my strength to get the 3-star ships. It might be worthwhile focusing on one 2-star ship, maxing that out, using that as your go-to ship, and everything else going into getting ready for a 3-star ship. But like I said, there's changes in the game since I was that level, so I can't speak with absolute certainty, and I'm finding out the more I do these videos that there seems to be different sets of rules on different servers. There seems to be different balance to the game on different servers, so what works on my server may not necessarily work on somebody else's, so I can only really talk from my point of view. But if you're asking me to hazard a guess on what the best way to go, generally maybe max out one ship like the Findra, but don't be maxing out all 3. Focus on getting your first 3-star ship. So you're on holiday in Australia. That would explain it. Yeah, the Scottish guy that I was talking about, he's in my alliance. He lives over there. His partner's an Aussie, so yeah, that would make sense. Like, okay, so my ship should be there now, guys. Anytime. Okay, let's see what is around here. There's a level 20. We'll start off on him. 223. And so because this is a mining ship, of course, then it's not part of the combat triangle. It doesn't have a particular strength or weakness to any other type of ship. So that's not damaging that ship too much. 230 EXP on the 20s and 21s. There's a 22, we'll try that. Another level 20. So you just grind these guys the same way as the same principle in any other game. You grind, try to get rewards out of it. I've already gotten 700 titanium there. If I do this for a while with this ship, I will max out the level of this ship until it's ready for another tier up, thus saving on on ship EXP. and saving that ship AXP for the events when they're on. So one more here and open this chest. Alright, the game seems to have frozen again on me, guys, so I'm going to cut it at that. I want to thank everybody for checking out the stream again. Everybody who's been liking the videos and subscribing and all of that kind of stuff. I appreciate all of the support. It's way more than I could have anticipated. Keep it up. I'll certainly continue doing these videos for as long as I can and for as long as this game holds me interest. I intend at some stage to diversify into other games. If anybody there has any particular interest in hanging out and doing any streams on any games that they think would be suited, then feel free to make the suggestion. But I'll certainly go be looking at some of the things that I enjoy myself, and we might do a bit of streaming that way. So that's it for now. Thanks once again, and I will chat to you guys all again in the future. Cheers.